Yeah, man. Roll call today. Funk from the front seat. My main man from New York City, Milo C. Joining us will be Harvey Morris as well. Milo C. Funk's in the house. Funk from the front seat. Right here, live on the Grind TV.
Let me drop a little knowledge about
So roll call, where you at, Ohio?
big city.
Yeah, man.
LA.
Where you at, New York City?
I got up in the morning.
Jersey's in the house.
Now the whole
Staten
gang
Island.
walk to school together.
Make sure Long Island.
Grab each other up from house to
Boston, where you at?
house. Had its own beat.
Delaware, Maryland, what's going on?
That beat.
Georgia, North and South Carolina. How you doing? Texas. Turn it out. Turn this mother out. New Orleans, where you at? Philly Phil. What's up, DC? P-Funk Radio. JTRP, Money B. Woo! Kentucky, where you at? Yeah, West Coast, California, Washington State. What's going on, Lisa? Hawaii, how you doing, Nevada? What's going on, Utah? Yeah. Texas, we see you. Stay active on the chat line, y'all. Canada, what's going on? Dubai, India, how you doing, y'all? Peace and love to you, namaste. Australia, what's up, Carmen? I love you. Hey, Wendy. Germany, Tanny Soul Sister, my favorite girl, I miss you. G2 Radio, Steady Groove, what's going on? All around the world from the funk. How y'all doing today? Welcome to another edition of Funk from the Front Seat. Right now, coming to you live, my main man from New York City, Mr. Milo Z Funk is in the house with us today, y'all.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, man, it's beautiful. You know, just trying to get some things done and hang out with you a little bit today. You know, thank you. Peace and blessings to you and your family. I met your sweet daughter a little bit ago, man. So, how you and your family doing with everything, man? Dealing with this COVID thing and all. Y'all staying safe? What's going on with New York?
Absolutely. We just got the first COVID shot yesterday.
Awesome, man.
And it's all good.
Awesome.
Just got a little tired yesterday after the shot. We got it in the morning.
Yeah.
I got a little tired, little bit of a sore arm, but today I'm good.
Yeah, same. Yeah, man. So, you know, you've been in the game a long time, man, and we're going to be showing some of your videos today. And, I appreciate, the mantra of my show is always peace, love, and harmony, man. And I've known you, through all your music for many years, and this is the first time I got a chance to really sit up and talk with you, man. And I really appreciate your love, your time, and your energy, because that's what this thing is about, peace, love, and harmony, So you've been a performer in New York City, LES. People want to know what that is, man. So when you say that, what do you mean by that? Because people were like, hey, what's that? So, I'm gonna let them know right here.
Yeah, LES, Lower East Side. Lower East Side. I get it. I guess, if you're not from New York,
Right. They didn't know. Yeah, I knew, but somebody said, "Hey, what's that?" And I was like, "We'll spring it on the show." And for everybody out there watching, I love you guys. You guys are great. Thank you for always supporting the show. Please stay active on the chat. Hit us up. We're gonna be running some of Milo's information on the bottom, and you'll know how to get him and contact him and all that stuff on the banner. I want to say mad shouts, much love and respect to my director, producer, Mr. Mark Lee, who I always give a hard time to. So thank you, Mark, for listening. Because believe me, I always busted with Mark hard sometimes, but he makes sure that this show actually works. So without you, Mark, it would not be possible. So thank you, sir. So you born on the Lower East Side, the streets, of New York City, man. So growing up, tell us a little bit about your musical influences and your family and all of that. What's up, Dr. Brooks? You got
Dr.
fans,
Brooks,
bro.
Dr. Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the LES East Village is really like a melting pot. That's what they considered it. All types of people, and uh, you know, uh, lower income, middle income. But a lot of variety. It's the East Village. So you had a lot of different flavors.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
As far as music, my mom had a decent record collection, and she listened to everything from like classical to uh, jazz, the Beatles, Curtis Mayfield, uh, War. I remember I wore out that I wore out that album, War Platinum Jazz.
Yes,
I
yes.
got played a lot. Marvin Gaye, of course, but
We had a birthday, by the way, yesterday.
that's right. That's right. Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
yeah,
Marvin Gaye. Yeah, we still asking
yeah.
what's going on, right? Still asking what's going on. Just still trying to figure that out. My her father was actually in vaudeville. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he had there's this old photo she has, and he's like in one of those straw hats, and he was a singer. He was a singer. So in vaudeville, and yeah. So there's I don't know if that it skipped her and came to me. Yeah.
Right, 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 right. See, that's
But
the
she,
beautiful thing.
yeah.
Only because we all get it from somewhere. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And to hear that story, and I know what New York is like. I'm from there, Lower East Side, and like you said, brother, all the musical influences that we had just in the streets alone. You could sit on the stoop, And I was born on Long Island, but we used to still have that influence. And later on when I moved into the city, but you could sit on the stoop and just hear music with the street,
That's
you
right.
know, and it's very conducive to a creative atmosphere.
Absolutely. I heard the Find Your All Stars coming through my floor, from the neighbors
Wow.
below, you know.
Right, right,
So
right.
the music was there. Tompkins Square Park. Dudes be playing congas in the park and
Yeah,
uh, setting up jazz and
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it was conducive to an education, like getting all different types of flavors and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Um, when the village, and I want to ask you this before we get into your music, and you're the creator of Rasmo Funk, and we're going to get into that too. But I remember the village being a thriving place, Lions Den, Red Lion, the Izzy Bar, and all those places where you could just go in and really do your thing. Wetlands, of course, was the biggest, for us. Um, as far as just being a hippie like you guys are, the funk thing, man.
Yeah,
And it broke my heart when CBGBs and Wetlands and all those places shut down. It killed a whole vibe, man. And I want to hear your thoughts on that before we get into your music.
funny story. First, when I was young, we lived in the Alphabet City, right? But then we moved out of there and we moved over to Second Avenue. And the back of our building, our back windows, looked over a U-Haul truck lot, and in the back of that was the back door of CBGB's.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, the back door of CBGB's, and they used to open that door in the summertime because I guess it got so damn hot,
Right.
with the shows, and then that music came out. Now, I'm not a big punk rock music fan. And that music, whatever loud stuff, that used to keep me up at night sometimes. that thrash, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's funny because right above CBGB's was basically a flop house, men's shelter flop house, and from my window you could see the rows and rows of cots, You know, you could see in the big windows the rows of these guys trying to sleep. And I always thought, how are they sleeping through that noise? Because it's
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
me up.
Right,
And
right.
hey, you know, I felt bad for them.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
that's funny. That's a serious dichotomy in creativity because on one hand you got this flow coming at you, and on the other hand you're actually seeing reality as it really is. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm sure creatively in your mind you just absorb that, man.
yeah,
So tell us a little bit about this thing you created, and you're the creator of Rasmo Funk. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
yeah. Razzle
Razumov. Oh, tell us a little bit about that, because that strikes me as something that is seriously, and I want to hear about it.
It's just combining, you know, the different influences in the music, rhythm and blues, rap, jazz, rock, and funk. You know,
Okay,
uh,
okay,
and you know, sometimes I don't know. I like to get into different types of music and then sort of combine it to make Razama Funk. Or sometimes like I'll just go in one direction, more like a rock direction for a particular song, or more of straight funk for another song, or maybe even old school R&B for another song, jazzy, of course. Um, which is, you know, because I just I don't know if it's boredom or I just want to express myself in different ways, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Which it, I'm not gonna say it could be a problem, but my first record came out. I had a record on Mercury, and they came out, and then I went to look for it in like Tower Records and or different stores, and my CD would be in different bins. It'd be in
yeah,
rock, it'd be in funk or R&B. Like it wouldn't uh, be in a consistent bin, you know, category.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, you know, that's good though, because in my opinion, only because your writing and your collaboration with Harvey Morris and some of your newer stuff that we're going to get into in a minute, you know, that just speaks to who you are as a human being, man. I know you're a beautiful human being inside and out because, like I said, I've been following you for many years. I can't wait, you know, and I'm doing some stuff, and we're gonna try to get together. You know, but I want to, you know, do some gigs with you up there, man. You know, with Nappy Head, man, because I always wanted to do that back then and never got to opt to do it with you, man. But I know everything that you do, you touch is gold, brother. Again, we're hanging out Funk from the Front Seat down Underground TV with my main man, Milo Z Funk. And you know, he got his education from the University of the Streets of the LES. So y'all know that's the Lower East Side. Shout out, stay active on the chat. You know, and all the Funketeers out there watching, I love you guys. I appreciate it. You know, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about your newest videos, you know. And again, you guys can follow Milo on the bottom. All his information is at the banner. Um, because you did some very interesting stuff concerning some of the issues that we have. And that's why I always love you, brother. You're
Mhm,
socially conscious with your music. God gave you this gift to be that, you
mhm.
know, and thank God for you. I say that sincerely, brother. I love you from my heart because you're trying to get people to understand and wake up in addition to entertain. And I always felt, me personally, you can answer this question. Um, as an entertainer for yourself, do you feel like responsible and obligation to actually do that?
Yeah, you know, throughout the years, I've a lot of the time I've focused on kind of just rocking the crowd, letting people have a good old time, you know, get people dancing, sweating. Let's have a funky good time. But I guess, well, I've always injected, you know, socially conscious commentary in my music. Uh, my first record, I had a record, a track called Gun Control. There was another song on that album called Step Back. Um, but lately, the last few years, I um, I feel like the times have been so tumultuous and so you know, just there's been a lot going on, and it's it seems like everything I'm writing, I can't make just that dance track now. I can't, for some reason, I just can't do it. I just don't. It's not that I don't want to. Like I have a track in the can. It's an R&B, straight R&B soul track, and I'm going to get to it. Maybe I'll get to it this year because things I think are getting better. You know, I plan to get to it, but the last few tracks, like like a couple years ago, I put out a song called Rubber Bands. That was about, because my daughter had a lockdown in her school, you know, for like if an active shooter came, which just tripped me out, you know. She was cool with it. It didn't phase her, but it tripped me out. So I wrote this song called Rubber Bands, which is a parent's perspective on being nervous about sending your kid to school. Used to be you'd be nervous when they get out of school, and now you have to be nervous about sending them to school. With COVID and the lockdown, thankfully, maybe one good thing, we haven't had any of those type of situations, right? You know, but we've had
unfortunately,
right? But we've had some other situations recently which says to us that stuff is still happening out there, you know. So hopefully it won't happen when schools open all back up, like, you know. But so that's where that song came from. So I put that out, and then of course, you know, dealing with the orange one, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know, we all felt, a lot of us, most of us, felt like, damn, like we didn't feel empowered. You know, things are going bad. I felt that this country was sick. You know, it is sick. There was a sickness, you know, and it manifested in COVID. It actually came to manifest in COVID, but it was sick before that.
That's right.
You know? And I think this me, this not take responsibility, this blame the other guy, this crass, you know, like, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, the last administration, but it's been going out like that for a while, you know, and so anyway, the song Trick, I had to do something. I had to write something that I could get it out. You know, I could get it out.
You know what? It's funny because, you know, watching your stuff and understanding where you're coming from, I think every artist out there felt like you did. In the past, I don't know, 2.5 years, you know, we haven't been able to put stuff out, but I did a song right before all this happened called Beast Mode, True Funk Soldier, right? And it was a funk track about us coming back, Nappy Head, this and that, right? And it's still out there on P-Funk Radio. But I was in the process of getting the political thing, and I wrote some stuff, it's in the can, we ain't putting it out until we're ready. But I love the fact that you did that video, which we're going to watch in a second. But I think every artist out there, jazz artists, my boys Leroy Cooper and, you know, Al Rashad and them, and John Rashad down in Florida, cats were just socially conscious always, like you always been that way. But we felt the need to not be as happy with the music thing because it was something serious. Like you said, brother, the country was sick. We got social ills. We got, you know, I'm a big advocate for homelessness. We got, you know, the child sex scandal, taking kids and, you know, 17-year-olds. Every day is something. And it did manifest itself. I love the word you used, brother. Thank you for saying that to our audience. Again, we're hanging out with Milo Z Funk, man, from New York City. It did manifest itself in a sickness. And because of that, some of us have gotten even more enlightened. Like you, I can look at you and tell your spirit is even more enlightened because you're putting out information people need, you know. So writing and doing, you know, this first video we're gonna look at, Trick, right? Obviously, it's gonna speak for itself. So, Mr. Mark Lee, if you get a chance, brother, could you pull that video up? I'm gonna save calling out because I know the brother Harvey wrote that with you, so I want to get him on the other side of the half hour, man. But this was funny, man. I looked at this, I was cracking up, but I love your insight. You're a genius, brother, when it comes to what you want to say, man, and it's very cool. Tell us a little bit about this while we set it up.
All right. So yeah, I felt that Trick. You remember, like, this was some speculation, and I think it's going to come out one day about the Russia PP tapes.
Yeah.
Right. So Donald Trump, he's been to Moscow. He was going to open up a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So you know what a trick is, right? We know what a trick is. So at first, when I first started writing the song, it wasn't called Trick. It was called something like Trip, like he's a trip, or Dip, he's a dip, and then I was like, wait, no, Trick. That says who he is. So anyway, then the lyrics just came, and it's basically my take on that man,
Yeah.
And then, but I wanted it's instead of it being heavy and kind of like depressing, the groove and the vibe, I kind of made it like an uplifting, kind of almost a funny kind of groove, like a throwback '60s boogaloo type groove with a kind of like almost a hokey kind of chorus, the horns and stuff. They're cool, but it's kind of funny. So when I did the video, I wanted to make it not so serious, but make people laugh with it.
Yeah.
And then I got this actor. Big shout out to Carlo Fiorello. Carlo, this cat, to play Trick, and he was just perfect. I mean, to me, picture like Joe Pesci with a orange face and a wig on, I mean, and he's a little Italian dude, and he just killed it, man.
He did. He crushed it, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Mark, could you run that for us, man, please? Yeah, he did crush it, man. It was so fun.
It's really just big old, how can I say it? Trick. There you go again, running that lip. Really think you sound so hip. But this time we ain't fall for it. You a Trick, and you ain't it. Trick. There you go again, talking that raw. Please. 10 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet tall. You might fool some, but you can't fool all. Won't fool all, you think small. Trick. When you talk about them, you talk about me. Cause this ain't just your country. And we all a family. Humanity, but he can't see it. No. Yeah. You got to go, got to go. So tired of seeing your face, spinning your lies all over the place. Your big ass is taking up space, too much space, such a waste. Trick. For the people is my name, so you go ahead play your game. But there's resistance you can't tame, you won't tame such a lame. Trick. And I can't wait to celebrate when you succumb to your fate. Cause surely love will conquer hate, we can't wait, come on. Got to go, got to go. All right. smile in a while. Crocodiles, trick. And I don't even need a gun. So don't you try to sell me one. Cause the fear I won't succumb. I won't run, I got none. Trick. And all that money is a lie. How many billion? Cause you just can't stop the tide. So better call your alibi. Say bye-bye, now go high, goodbye. Got to go, got to go. Come on, yeah. So corny. Got to go, got to go. I don't think all rich people. 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 I don't even drink orange juice anymore. Got to go. So I want you to say the words, I don't dig orange people. Here we go. I don't dig orange people. Let me hear you. That's right. I don't dig orange people. Yeah, I don't dig orange people. We don't dig orange people. Come on, play that chorus. Dig orange people. Dig orange people.
Yo, man. I love it. You know, and I hope the audience enjoyed it, man. That's Trick, Milo
Yeah.
Z Funk and his crew, man. Was that your daughter in the video? Was that her?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Okay. Kudos to her, man. She get her
Yeah.
5 minutes. Only in New York. This is why I miss New York. I got to get home soon, man, because I'm shooting a video up there soon too. But only in New York can you get that grind, man. And let me tell you something. Congratulations, man. That's like that groove speaks to what you do. You know, the Erasmo Funk thing, man, and you know, just that vibe that you have and your creativity. You know, it was amazing to watch you put that and onto screen for us, man. And all the actors that's in it and whoever shot it. Shout out to you guys
Yeah.
and producers.
You know what? Big shout out to Leon. Leon shot it and edited it. Yeah.
Okay,
Man,
Leon, how you doing, bro? If you watching, you're welcome to come on the show anytime, man. But yeah, so that's Trick, and your message about what we went through, very passionate, obviously as we all are, about just being on the right side of right. You know, it's as simple as that.
Exactly.
Just being on the right side of right, man.
You know, yeah. You know, I got a little blowback from some fans from that video because, you know, not everybody thinks or feels like I do. You know, some people supported him, you know, so you know, that whatever, that's their right, you know. But I did get a little blowback.
Yeah. And I'm sure you did, and I know you handle it with respect and dignity because I know you and the amount of effort people like yourselves, light workers, put into trying to do the right thing. It wasn't so much that we were worried about the people. It wasn't until they started effing up. Then, you know, I could deal with somebody on the other side. Just stop effing up the basics. Voting rights. You're trying to suppress this. You're stealing money. You're lying every 10 seconds. If you just do the normal job, I tell people all the time, listen, he really could have been a decent president.
Hey,
But
you know what? It's in his nature to always bullshit.
Be that way.
If he had not tried to push COVID under the rug, and said it didn't exist, that it's a Democratic hoax, and actually said, yeah, the stock market is going up. He didn't want that precious stock market to go down. The stock market is going down. We got a situation. We got to deal with it. But it's his nature to bullshit. So he's going to push it under the rug. He's going to say, no, everything's going to be great because he thinks it's going to hurt him. If he actually would have got on top of it, now I'm not a fan of the man all the way around, but if he would have got on top of it, he would have won this election hands down. He would have still been in power, but it's not his nature because he is a grifter.
Yes.
He's a con. He's Don the con.
Yep.
And it's his nature, even though it's going to hurt him because he can't say that something is wrong at any point in his life, at any point in this conversation. If everything is great, he's great, nothing can be wrong under his administration. So if he had just said, America, we're going to go through a little bit of a hard time, but we're going to come out on the other side, but we got to address this situation. But that's not him, see. That's not him. So that's why things got so bad, man. And a lot of Americans lost their lives needlessly. And hey, history is going to show that. You can believe me, you cannot believe me. The truth will come out, and eventually it will sink into most people. Most people back in the day, so-called good people, didn't think that, black people should be swimming in the same pool, or black people should be going to the same school, or that, they should vote. They came along. Some of them, they came along years later. That, whoa, what was I thinking, or something, oh, I never thought that. That's what usually happens. Like this, oh, I never thought that. I always was on the right side. Some Americans are slow, Same thing. They're going to come around. They're going to come around. There's going to be a lot of people, like when they interview people in 20 years, they'll be like, we're going around interviewing. Did you vote for this? They're going to find it hard to find somebody who say they voted for him.
You're right.
Especially
and
twice.
That's right. And see, and you said a key point, brother, and thank you for hanging out. Milo Z, hanging out on Funk from the Front Seat, Not on the Grind TV. Thank you guys for watching. And your comments, keep them coming in. I'll get you back on Facebook. We doing our thing over here. You said the key thing, because what happened is, and I agree. See, and I'm from New York. Only New Yorkers knew his whole con grift thing. We knew that from jump, because he's been doing that with stakes, the fake college, the airport. But people around the country, they didn't really know about the power of his con. And I told somebody, I was like, yo, you wearing a shirt, a hat, buttons, badges. I said, all that stuff you wearing costs you at least $100, $200. I said, I'm not wearing nothing, and I'm voting for Biden. I said, but you wearing all that stuff. I said, multiply that by 75 million. I said, think about how much money he made off you just off a shirt and a hat, whether you voted for him or not. And he conned people to think, hey, I'm going to be good for you, this and that. Like you said, bro, wasn't in his nature. We knew that. And we just couldn't get others to see that, which is the sad part. There's people still in denial. Can you believe the shit you're saying? I'm serious.
It's hard for some people to accept that they were wrong. And I don't want them to, I don't need them to say I was wrong. I just want them to come into the light. I just want them to come into the light, and let's do right. Let's make things better. Right.
Yeah, that's all, man. I love hanging out with you, man. And we're going to do this again. If you can, man, we got to have at least a couple more interviews. All right. We'll make this part 1 and part 2 and whatever, man. We do some more stuff, man, because you get it. And I love to be around people that get it. Some people, like you said, they're not going to agree, but it's cool. That's what America's about,
Hey, I got another Republican. If you're a Republican, that's cool with me. But don't be a okie doke. Don't be con. That's a con man, and grow. Okay, maybe you got duped. I don't need an apology. I don't need you to. I don't need anything. I just want you to come into the light. Let's come into the light. Yeah.
Just walk into the light with us and listen to the music and groove, man, and hang out with some of that Rasmo funk, man. Right now, we're gonna take like about 30 seconds to run a P Funk commercial that I do, and I'm gonna give some shout outs to my sponsors and supporters. We're gonna hang out on the side. Then when we come back on the other side, hopefully Mr. Morris is in the house, and then we bring him in and chop up some more stuff, man. Funk from the front seat, Milo Z hanging out with us today. Beautiful day. He's in New York City. I'm by way of Durham, North Carolina, but I love you, brother, man. You're a good dude, man. Mark, pump that P Funk thing for me, man, when you get a chance. Thank you, sir.
Hey, this is Keith Jackson with P Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
P Funk Radio. My Virginia family, I love you. Pat and Dot and Nikel, I know you guys are doing well. P Funk Radio, JTRP, Honeybee, Patty and Bootsy, I love you. Thank you for your support. Philly Phil, get on the Funk Bus on Tuesday nights. Yeah, check him out. Joe Keys, I love you, man. Gabe on Wednesday nights. Funkster Jones Saturday, I love you. Tony Cam, please send me a shirt. Triple X, extra large, please. Benevolent Funk and Otis Hawk. I'm wearing a toast to the Boogie Munson. And they got a foundation for him. David Brooks, another supporter, executive producer, Bill Tresvant, I love you. And if you're on a mobile app, tablet, iPad, phone, you can watch us on the go. Check us out on Facebook Live. And also another sponsor, KN Jams, Kevin out of Philadelphia. Philly Dilly, Silly Philly, Funky Philly. I love you. Thank you guys for always supporting the show and everybody watching. Hopefully, Mr. Morris is in the house. If not, we're going to continue to chop it up. Thank you for that, Milo. We're hanging out again on the other side. Hey, what up, bro?
Greetings.
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Love you, man. Love you, man. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So, welcome to the show. We're hanging out with Harvey Morris. Thank you for joining us. And, you guys are boys, so, I know y'all got some stories to tell. We'll get into that in a minute. But how did you guys meet and hook up for this video?
Oh, man. Milo and I have known each other for 30 years at least, right? 20?
That's what's up.
Something like that, right? My first experience with Milo, I used to play with this cat named Frankie Parrish down in the village. And Milo came in one day and he saw me and I was playing drums. It was like, yo, you know what? I got this group. I want you to come check us out. And I was like, sure, I'll come through. So I went to one of the shows. It was crazy. And after that, I went and started playing with him. And we was doing spot dates. And then he asked me to go on tour with him. That was crazy. Had a great time.
Yeah. Yo, in New York, that's how it works. The network. I try to tell people here that we network up there, and that's how we connect, man. And
exactly.
And see, I love this story because we're connecting now, and I'm from New York. I'm just down south now, but I miss that connection thing that you guys have up there, and I'm gonna get back to that real soon as I straighten some things out down here. But Milo, when you guys and Mr. Morris, Harvey, when you guys were putting together this Calling Out music and you co-wrote it, tell us a little bit about your inspiration. And you guys can just jump in and chop it up.
Well, you first, man.
Yeah. Well, what's up, Harvey?
What's up, my brother? Much love.
Absolutely. So that is how we met, through Frankie, right?
Exactly.
Frankie. That's right. It's like I couldn't actually remember exactly what was the way, but yeah.
I was playing a blues bar with Frankie down in the village, and you had walked in. I was like, yo, who's this dude? And then, because let me tell you something, because Milo, I can see why he's a star. Milo is a star because his whole presence, his whole energy just radiates stardom. You know what I'm saying? From the day that I met him, always kind, always respectful, always honorable, soft-spoken. But brother, when he hits that stage, it's on and popping, baby. So.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, tell us a little about the song, though, Calling Out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and thank you for that, Harvey. The song, basically, when I first started writing it, it was about the lockdown the COVID lockdown and how it felt in New York at the time of 2020 to be specific. Just people being afraid, going into the grocery store, not want to be near anybody, and just that feeling and sort of the empty streets. And the eeriness of New York City, the city that never sleeps, that seemed to be like underwater, I put out a video on Facebook Live. I just sang with my keyboard, wasn't doing any gigs, and I sang the song that I had, so far, just with the keyboard, and I put it out on Facebook, and then Harvey saw it. Why don't you take it from here, man?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So what happened was I saw it and I was like, yo, I was so inspired by the song, man. It was crazy. I mean, because it had this like really dope Motown groove, but it was just like, it had the vibe of Motown, but it wasn't Motown. And it was just like, oh man. So Milo was singing and I listened to the lyrics. I was inspired. So I ended up putting some backgrounds on there. I'm gonna tell you actually how it went down. So I heard him singing, and when I heard him singing, I'm like, yo, man, this is so dope. So I recorded it into my system from Facebook. You took it from my phone, recorded it into the system for Facebook, just the audio, and then I added some backgrounds and some stuff to it. And I reached out to Milo. I was like, yo, Milo, I said, listen, I hope it's okay with you, man, but your song so inspired me. I just needed to, do something with it. Here's something, hopefully you like it, and that's how it started for me. Really was inspired. And by the way, Brother Zach, I watch your show all the time, man, and I thank you, man, for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Yo, that means a lot to me because I never know. Mark is the numbers guy, my producer, director. He tells me what, but I'm just doing this to have, for us, until we can really get fully back. God gave me a platform, and he said, listen, we got to pivot as you guys have pivoted. You still putting stuff out, great music. That's all God wants us to do, man. Is just do right. Just be right on the right side of right. That's kind of like one of my hashtags. Mark and I have a hashtag all the time, man. And later on, I'm going to bring my director and producer, Mark Lee, on because he always has a question for you guys at the end of the show. But we got plenty of time, man. Harvey, I want to ask you, did you ever play in church?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
yes,
that's probably where I've seen you at. Because I know you.
Yes, I do. I still play in church. I mean,
I know you, and I've seen you there. That's how I know you.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, I mean, listen, that's what it's all about. And it's interesting. Milo doesn't play in church, but he's definitely a spiritual brother.
Oh, totally.
And that's why. That's how we connected because that brother is all about his business, man. And that's why Milo, I tell everybody publicly, I love you, man, because you're all about that.
We all about love, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So that's how the song started, for me. And I sent it to him, and he liked it. And then he was like, "Yo, check this out. I need you to do this, do that." I was like, "Cool, no problem." And then I saw his last video, the Trump thing, trick, exactly. And I was like, yo, Milo, I really appreciate that video, but I hope that you can give me an opportunity to, do this other video with you. And he gave me the opportunity. He sent me the footage, and I added my footage, and that's how the video came out.
Where are you at right now, Harvey?
I'm in Jersey.
You in Jersey? Okay, yeah. I was just trying to get a demographic. All right, yeah, Jersey, Plainfield, P-Funk. You know how that rolls.
No, you know what it
is. Harvey edited the video. Tough Stuff Productions. He does that. Also, he's got his own. He's got a couple of groups. He's got Deep Cover Groove Band.
Yeah, that's right.
And a gospel project too. That's so right. You guys need to connect, and
we're gonna, yeah, man.
And the video Trick, the song, it changed after George Floyd happened because originally it was just about COVID, but then it got a little broader. Right. The lyrics, some of Harvey's lyrics, in particular.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we're gonna run this calling out. Mark, could you pull that up for me for that, please? Pull up calling out. Co-written, and production by Mr. Harvey Morris, collaborating together with my main man Milo Z. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Funk from the front seat, 9 on the grind TV. Y'all hanging out there. Shout out to Dr. Brookenstein and everybody else watching. We love you, Brenda. I know you're watching. Sorry I couldn't call you this week. I have family issues, but I'll get to you, Brenda. But yeah, man. I love you guys, man. And this video is, man, crazy cool. So I know my audience is going to dig it, man. So y'all sit back, relax, and check out Milo Z Funk with Mr. Harvey Morris. I love it. I love it.
Drop that groove. It's gonna get better now. Get funky with it. It's gonna get better now. It's gonna get better now. I'm walking through the red lights. I'm just trying to get home. Searching for a lifeline. Try not to feel so all alone. Seem like everybody's hiding, and if you see them, they ain't gonna get too close. Cause everybody's frightened, and don't nobody wanna cast that lethal dose. We gotta love one another, treat each other with respect, love, and dignity, and show compassion and true charity. Open my window at night. Big old city, but you don't hear a sound. It's a Saturday night, but that don't matter, cause nothing's going down. Is there anybody out there? Cause if there is, won't you send me a sign? I know that we're really all scared, so we keep on biding our time. But you know what? I got a message for y'all. I got a message for the world. I just wanna say to you right now that I'm calling out around the world. I wanna feel you now. I know we're all feeling small. This thing's really got us down. But don't give up. I know it's rough. I'm calling out to you. Keep the faith. It ain't too late. Cause love's gon' see us through. Look to the inner man from which cometh your strength. Know that everything's gonna be alright. You just gotta believe, you gotta believe. I'm just letting you know. Just don't give up. Just have faith. It's gonna work out. It is all gonna work out. We got angels on the front lines, and they're trying their best, but they're having a rough time. Tough dodging bullets when you can't find the vest. So we all sit home waiting while the numbers continue to climb. I watch the news and I'm praying they're gonna tell me something different this time. Keep your head up, stay informed. You're not in this alone. We wanna inspire you to keep moving and keep the faith. Come on now. So once again, I got a message for the world, for all of us. Stay strong. And I wanna say, I'm calling out around the world. I wanna feel you now. I know we're all feeling small. This thing's really got us down. It's gonna get better now. Don't give up. I know it's tough. I'm calling out to you. It's gonna get better now. Keep the faith.
Let me tell you, I got tears in my eyes. I kid you not. I got goof pimples. I got tears. Let me tell you something. Y'all out there watching, y'all better get up on this. For all my fans out there, man, that is an amazing, amazing display of creativity, art, and pure love. Thank you, man, for sharing that. I literally have tears, especially when you got to the part in the song about the heroes. You guys did an amazing job. How long did that take to put together?
Well, I shot a lot of it. I shot not a lot of it. I shot it all pretty much my part on my iPhone, and I just shot it through the months, just going out around New York and documenting what I saw. You know,
Amen.
Right.
There was I didn't put this in the video because I thought it would be too much, but there was actually a refrigerator truck. There's a funeral home down the block from me, and that truck was there for months. And you know what that means, right? It was a refrigerated truck, you know, so it was constant. And I shot that, but I was like, no, we're not putting that in there, you know. So I was just wanted to, you know. And then the summer and then the protests, I felt like almost like I was like, you know, eyewitness news, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
man.
Yeah.
So Harvey, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You good.
No, I was just gonna ask you when you got to your part and Milo sent you that and then you dumped your stuff in, right? You kind of, it kind of really hit me as like, wow, this is like a global thing, even though it's about New York, and you made it global, and I know that's the message you're getting out there, you know.
Right.
And that's it hit me like that when I first watched it. When Milo sent it to me the other day, I watched it, and I was like, damn, you know. I really miss New York City, and I tell people that every day. Despite what's going, that's my home. And I cry every time. You see my posts, whatever, man. When y'all hurt, I just want you brothers and sisters to know up there, I cry with you because I love you and it's my home, man. You guys work well together, man. That's crazy, man. So Harvey, the name of your thing is what? Tough Stuff Productions.
Yeah, Tough Stuff Productions. Yes, LLC.
All right, man. That's cool. So when y'all get ready to do some stuff, you know the man to call. I want y'all out there to understand Tough Stuff Productions, man. They putting out some stuff. Milo Z hanging out, Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV. You guys are amazing. We're going to get into this last video in a minute, Rubber Bands. But I wanted to ask you both a question about your pivot.
Right.
And how you could tell others how you pivoted, not your details, but some people, when this thing hit, they didn't know what to do, especially artists, creativity people, whatever. You know, doors opened up, but sometimes, like you said in your video, Milo, where's everybody? How do we manage this mental anguish and stress of Black Lives Matter, of the guy that's in the White House, people starving, refrigerated morgues, you know? So it was a lot of stress in every city around the world. How did you guys manage to pivot so successfully? That's what I want my audience to hear. You're an example.
And I'll follow.
I mean, we got to do something, right? We got to do something, you know. It's been a tremendous change for everyone. This time period, right? Been a tremendous change, especially artists, musicians. You know, we can't work. We couldn't work. You know, no gigs. But we're still artists, right? We feel, and that's what we do. We put out what we do. We have to. We don't do it because, you know, we're not just doing it for the money. The money is great. We want to work, but that's not why we do it. We do it if we don't get paid. Why? Because we have to. We don't have a choice, and we're so lucky. We are so lucky,
totally,
to be able to do it, to be able to release our spirit like that.
Right.
A lot of people can't. They don't know what to do. They drink. They do drugs. They're in pain. When we're in pain, this is what we do.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I know. For me, I was always doing production, so this allowed me the opportunity to actually, just focus more on my production. And I'm always about, my motto is positive music for positive people. And that for me is my whole core. Healthy music for healthy people, positive music for positive people, and for me, just interacting with Milo from this song, that's what it's completely all about. Being healthy and positive in spite of our situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand that the world is going through what they're going through, but we are ministers of music.
Yes, we are.
And because we are ministers of music, we can bring information to the world, but we can also bring healing and comfort to the world through what we do. And me, I choose to bring healing and comfort and information and solutions. That's what Tough Stuff Production is all about. Messages in the music, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
Well said. Well said, man. And if you guys, again, I'm gonna ask you another question. If you guys are going to talk to some young people about not so much the pivot, but the business. If you were going to talk to a young cat, there's like, yo, Milo, yo, Harv, man, I want to do this, and this, but I'm not quite sure the steps I should take. What would you tell young people? What advice would you give a young person trying to break into this business post-COVID thing where we are now?
Post-COVID. Go ahead, Milo. You first.
You take it.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, the whole thing is you have to ask yourself where you want to be. Where do I want to be in this business? What is it? What exactly am I looking to do? And then, having a long-term objective and having those series of steps that will actually lead you to it. So, just say, for example, I want to be an artist. If that's where you're looking to be, then you have to ask yourself, what are those elements that I'm going to need to be an artist? You have to ask yourself, what is an artist in today's society? Because you can be an artist without having a record deal. You can be an artist without having, all of those other elements that quote unquote say that you were successful. That's the thing that I love about Milo, because I've watched Milo over the years, and Milo I deem as being successful. That brother, he's touring, he's always toured, he's always connected. I have videos on YouTube and stuff like that, but Milo in just 3 weeks, Milo hit like 3,000 views. But this is what he did, though. Milo, he was doing the legwork. He was doing those promotions. He was, reaching out to people and connecting with people so that, so that it can make it happen. So being an artist is not just about your artistry, but it's about your business acumen. And that's what Milo has. And so, Milo, you take it from there.
Hey, man, I would just say one thing: do it because you love it. Do it because you love it, and do you. Just do you.
Amen.
As far as the route to take, there's a lot of different. You got to work what works for you. Social media is huge. Social media is huge. I was just watching a documentary. I haven't even finished it, but and I'm not really a fan of this cat. But it's interesting. This dude, Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? He was say whatever you want to say about him. He knew that social media, and he blew himself up through social media. Billions of views and stuff. Whether it was all put on, a facade, whatever it is, it still got him a bunch of success in that way. He got known, then he got known as something else. So young people know about social media, so they could probably tell us a lot more. Speaking of which, now I don't want to get off the subject, but I want to give a shout out.
Good, man. We got time.
I want to give a shout out to DMX and his family, because I just saw that he had an episode or something. He's not doing well. So, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I hope he goes through. And that's all. I want to shout that out.
Yeah. Thank you, man. When did that happen? Because I didn't hear about that, but I love DMX. Man.
Today.
Dogs. my God.
Yeah. So he's in the hospital and stuff. So hopefully he's gonna pull through, man, because this is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest. Yeah.
And, can I add something to that? I want to add that as musicians, as entertainers, it's important that we are mindful of our health. Not only just our music health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our financial health, and don't believe all the stuff that the industry is feeding us. You know what I'm saying? Because they used to say sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Rock and roll is wonderful, but when you start getting into the drugs and the sex, you got to be mindful, because a lot of brothers and sisters been taken out of here because of their unhealthy practices. You understand? And we have to be mindful of our practices, because it's so important. And when we do have mental health issues, it's okay to say, you know what, I need some help. I don't have this thing. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, being able to receive the help that we're asking for. So that's all. Thank you.
It's funny you mentioned that. God is working this little interview for us right now, because I always mention mental health issues. I tell people, listen, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I suffer from depression. I've been to, I have a therapist, and I tell everybody, like you just said, brother, it's okay to say you're not okay.
Right.
I have a lot of guests on different times during the week, on my other show on Sundays, and we talk about these issues. And as artists, I always love it when my artists come on and say the same thing, because they don't see us as human. And we are human.
Right.
And when things break down inside of someone else that plays basketball, or a police officer, or a nurse, if it breaks down inside of an artist, it's the same way. It's the same thing. And I'm so glad, brother, that you said that God put the spirit in you to say that, because that is so important. If you're out there right now and you need to reach out to any one of us, Mark, you can reach out to Harvey, reach out to Milo, reach out to me. Anybody on this show that knows, reach out. If you feel in some kind of way, there's always somebody to talk to. Just pick up the phone. I do a hashtag all the time. One of my hashtags was, I make an I care call. Just pick up somebody and tell them you care. And brothers, let me tell you, this is a spiritual thing happening right now, because usually on my shows, they're all organic. And like you said, brother, you watched them, Harvey. And when we get to this point where we're peeling back these layers of the onion, like we are now, we are truly in that love zone. You know what I'm saying? Love for each other, love for the music, love for the craft, love for the art, love for our people, the city, the world. And that's what I want people to understand why I do this show. It's very important, man. So, you talked a little bit about this before, Milo, rubber bands. We're going to show this video in a second. But I just want a little bit more input from my fans out there. Let them know what we're getting ready to watch.
Okay. But let me correct you though, bro. This video, it's not a video. There is no video for it. It's just.
Oh, it's just okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So you don't want to put. I mean, you can play the song, but you don't want to put that dead space for 4 minutes of just the image.
It's okay. It's because this is an organic show. It goes out live, but I do want to hear the song, because I like the song.
Yes, and I want to do a video for that song. So maybe me and Harvey will think of something.
Hey, Milo, let's make it happen, baby. You know what it is.
All right.
Hey, I'll fly up and be in the video.
Oh, there you go. Hey, you don't have to. The thing is, you don't even have to fly up. You could shoot your iPhone down there. So we got, you're in Raleigh.
I'm in Durham, but yeah, I'm right by Raleigh.
Okay. You know what? That's all right. My mama's in Georgia.
Down there.
All right, done.
And listen, my mama's in Georgia, so I pass right through North Carolina all the time. So
hey, I got a pull-out couch. You're always welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I sleep on the couch.
Harvey snores though.
Oh yeah,
it's okay.
To hear that.
It's all right, because you know what? They tell me I snore, but people who snore, we never know we snore because we can't hear ourselves.
You'll hear him.
Oh, so you give me the handshake? It's all good, though. I usually stay up to 3, 4 in the morning. It's all good, man. I love to have you stop through. But yeah, Mark, run that song first, man, and we're gonna stay on the side and chat it up a little bit. But I want the audience to hear this song because it's important. Hanging out with Milo Z and Harvey, man. Funk from the front seat. Who's got it better than us right now? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring Mark on after this song because he has a question for both of you. I can always hear him scratching at the glass on the other side of the glass. Let me in, let me in. So yeah, we're gonna run this back. And you said this was about the school, right?
Yes, this is about the fear of school shootings. You know, like I said, my daughter had a lockdown in her school, and I found out about it, and it just kind of blew my mind. You know,
Yeah.
There used to be fire. I remember fire drills. You know, I remember fire drills, and way back there was those drills when you hid under your desk because they were going to drop the bomb. You know, now they got these other type of drills.
They're called shut-ins. You have a shut-in, and then you have a lockdown. You know, I happen to work in the public school system, so yeah, we had to practice those drills where the kids, what happens in those lockdowns, you know, you have what they call a shut-in, and then you have a lockdown. In the shut-in, you know, it's just you close the doors and you don't let anybody outside the school. But in the lockdown, you close the classroom, turn off the light, all the kids get into a corner and be quiet, you know, and lock the doors so that no one can come into those classrooms after all these shootings. So Mario, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, that's what we practice with our students all the time. So I got you, bro.
Yeah, I understand as well, because obviously my daughters are 13 and 17. So I haven't been down here, and I've been a watchdog. Dads are great students. We monitor the school. I'm in the school system, you know, as a parent. And you know, when they have these certain things, sometimes I was there and I understood, wow, we're in a whole different era. Because like you said, Milo, we used to hide under our desk, which I never understood, because I'm like, well, if fire is coming at us and I'm under wood, that's not the best place to be. So I always thought that. I was like, why are they hiding me underneath kindling? That's going to only make me burn more. But I got it. But now, right? Think about it. They put us under wood. And we got get ready to hit with a bomb. So I'm like, whatever. But now, you know, and Harvey, thank you for working in the school system. It's like, damn, you know, you got to hide kids in their own school. Like you said, Milo, they can't even go. You know, we worried about them. So, Mark, can you run that track for us, please, sir? I know Mark is back there hanging in.
Daddy, will it be safe there today?
Of course, hon. Now, come on. We gotta catch the bus.
You get up in the morning the same old way. You try to tell yourself it will be okay. They need to pay attention to teachers say, but it's hard to concentrate when they're really afraid. Another day at school and you roll the dice, hoping that they won't have to pay the price. There's a kid who never speaks, but your hope is nice. To get an education, they could lose their life, 'cause they're not getting hit with rubber bands. They ain't getting hit with rubber bands. They're not getting clipped with rubber bands. So run, Johnny, run as fast as you can. So here we go again, it's back in the news, but nothing's gonna change till they change the rules. Here come the politicians, they sound like fools. Damn, I wish my kids were bulletproof. I really need some help just to figure out how I can keep them safe until school gets out. So tell me who to call, who could wield the cloud, so I don't have to live with this fear and doubt. 'Cause they're not getting hit with rubber bands. They ain't getting hit by rubber bands. They're not getting clipped with rubber bands. So think, Susie, think, you must have a plan.
Somebody's gotta do something.
stop and think, what if it were your children gone? Cause they're not getting hit with rubber bands. Ain't getting hit with rubber bands. They're not getting clipped by rubber bands. So run, Johnny, run as fast as you can. They're not getting hit with rubber bands. Ain't getting clipped by rubber bands. They're not getting shot by rubber bands. So think, Susan, think, you must have a plan.
Rubber bands, y'all. Tamara Reynolds said, loving this groove and the interview. Great group of artist people. Looking forward to chapter 2. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And there will be a chapter 2, 3, and 4. We're going to make that happen. For all you guys out there watching, we're hanging out with Milo Z Funk, and his main man, Harvey Morris. Tough Stuff Productions, correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
New Jersey. So I'm going to bring my man, Mark Lee, in right now. Mark, jump on in, man. Thank you for your production and your dedication to the show. I know you got a question. Mark always comes in at the end of the show, and, I let him wing it a little bit. So, Mark, I'm going to let you ask these two brothers, a question. You can feel the love in the house. Mark is really my brother down here. He's like you guys are to me. He's my brother down here, man. Go ahead, man.
No, definitely. I wanted to make a quick statement before I get to my question. And one, Milo and Harvey, I was really digging y'all's styles, the music that y'all were producing and all of that. And definitely one of the things that I was really noticing that was really important was the way that y'all honor history. I know that Harvey mentioned the blues music and his connection to the blues music. I'm a big blues fan. And Milo, you definitely talked about the Fania All-Stars. And I remember that growing up, my parents were very much into the Fania All-Stars, and that was kind of that roots music coming out of Latin America and all of that. So definitely I'm glad that y'all are not just getting this current music, but also honoring your past as well. And then also I'm noticing a lot of activism in your songs as well. The 3 that we heard today were all very much activist oriented. And that's actually where my question is going to come to you at and everything is we're seeing a lot of people now that are trying to find ways to divide us. If you look down there at the Mexican border, if you look down at the way that we're treating our Asian Americans and a number of other things. So I was wondering, do you have anything in the works that's going to deal with that's going to deal with the ways that society trying to divide us when we know that we're really a unified people? I think y'all did a little bit of that in Calling Out, but I'd like to hear some of the music that y'all are going to have in the near future that's going to address some of these dividing factors that folks have with us.
Oh, man. Milo, you first, because I have a whole lot to say on this one.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. Well. First of all, let me get back to Rubber Band for a quick second, and I'm gonna address all of that stuff. Now, it's interesting how when these attacks happen, and it happens with people of European descent. They will say things like it's mental health issues, and these things. But then when it happens with other people of other ethnicities, it's all of a sudden considered to be terrorism. You understand? And there is a thing called homegrown terrorism. Yes. You understand? And that homegrown terrorism feeds into exactly what you talked about, the divide. And we have to understand the divide is not about color. The divide is about money. And when people, when the powers that be, are able to thrive off of the division, because understand something, when there's division, there's violence. When there's violence, there's crime. When there's crime, there's also hospitals. So all of these industries benefit from the discord.
Yeah.
You understand? And so it becomes a win for the major industries and those of us that are not conscious to what is actually happening. We become like I hate to say, we become cattle to the slaughterhouse. You understand? Now I want to address the mental health issue. Just imagine I have this cord here, right? And you see how this cord is all tangled up to some degree. So when you go into, I want you to see it. So when you go into to mental, when you're going to address your mental health issues, all you're doing is you're learning how to straighten out those things that are crooked in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and as you straighten out those things, you know what happens is that now we have a healthy path because we've straightened out those things, those unanswered questions. Again, when it comes down to racism and all of those things, we've been fed lies. You know what I'm saying? And because we are only in our community, we only see our point of view. And it's not until, and that's the wonderful thing about becoming musicians, or if you travel through different nations, you get an opportunity to see how other people are living. And so you begin to realize, I know for me, I began to realize, dang, it doesn't matter what our color is. We all, you know, we all want food, clothing, and shelter. We all want love and respect to live better. You understand what I'm saying? And so now getting back to the project, I'm actually getting ready to come out with a socially conscious hip hop CD that address all of those things, because it's important that we recognize and not only just recognize what the situation is, but we have to also provide solutions for these things, because just to talk about them is just like the law of attraction. You know, if you keep talking about the bad, the only thing you're going to do is attract more bad to your life. So
right.
if you want to find a solution, we need to talk about, it's like working with kids. When you're working with kids, they tell you, don't tell the kids don't run in the hallway. What you want to do is model the behavior. You want to say, you know, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we must walk in the hallways. Right. And then we model that behavior. And so as people, we have to now, instead of focusing on the negative, model the behavior of the goodness that we want to see.
Amen. Amen. Well said.
Very well said. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well, Milo. I did notice in the video, particularly in calling out, that it looked like you deliberately tried to put a wide cross-section of society in the video. I noticed that there was the Asian woman, there was one of the dancers, and there were a number of other parts of the society there in New York that were represented within what you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's important, especially what's going on. I mean, with the attacks on our Asian brothers and sisters now, you know,
yes,
it's just another it's another diversion. You know, it's another diversion, and it's in this country. It's old as the history of the country itself. You know, unfortunately, there's always been a movement to, you know, to make people afraid.
Right.
Make white people, you know, if you have white people, poor white people, who have so much more in common with other poor people of different, you know, ethnicities,
right?
You know, the rich, the people who have the power, they stay in power by keeping us divided.
Right.
So you know, just like if you say they're going to take your jobs and they're rapists and they're this, you keep them afraid, you keep them brainwashed, basically, you know. So that's been that is old as this country, you know. So now what are we doing now? Now we're you know, we're singling out Asian Americans now, you know, when instead of saying, okay, maybe we could just handle this epidemic a little better, you know. So it's just another way to keep us divided. And yes, I'm so glad I had Chihiro in the video. That's the dancer in the video. Yep. And yeah, so to represent everybody, because you know, we're all just people. Like Harvey said, we just want food, clothing, shelter. We're really all the same, you know. And well, that's what we need, and everything else is a diversion.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm gonna let Zach go back to handling the interview and wrapping everything up. But the last question I was gonna ask both of y'all, and y'all kind of alluded to it, but how important do you feel it is for artists to be activists? I'm seeing a lot of artists that are addressing issues like what's going on in Latin America with those folks that are coming across the border and all of that. But I was just wondering, from both of you, how important do you feel it is for artists to be activists as well?
Well, for me, I that's what I've had to do the last few years, the last couple of years, because I think that the times have, I'm not saying demanded it of me, but just that I find it hard to, if I'm going to take the time to make something, and it's just about nothing. Like, I love a funky groove. I love a funky groove, and I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to put out an R&B track this year, a soulful, old school track, and that it's going to be nothing about like "Baby, I Miss You," you know. But yeah, but and I am going to put out another track. Actually, it's called with my man Franco Casio. He's the guitar player. Used to be in the Authority. We're going to put out a track. It's about New York, about people fleeing New York because of COVID and the situation. And, you know, we're still here. New York's still here, you know. So, anyway, what you asked was I just couldn't write anything. It was too much was going on, too much. And that's what I was feeling every day. So why not write it and express it in the music?
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I'm going to say this. Whether we like it or not, we're activists on it. See, when I look at the word activism, you got to really pay attention to that word, because activist means that you're supporting a cause, whether it be positive, negative, you know what I'm saying, good or bad. So you have to ask yourself, as musicians, we are all activists in something. So now the question becomes, what are we activating? Are we activating good health? Because when you say activist, what you're doing is you're activating something. So are we activating good health? Are we activating good behavior? Are we activating, empowerment? Or are we activating fear? Are we activating sexuality? Are we activating, this craziness, feeding into this thing? So, as artists overall, we are all activating something. The question is, what choose ye this day what ye shall serve? So if you I know, like I said, positive music, positive people, healthy music, healthy people. That's my activism. So it's about justice, baby. It's about justice.
Definitely glad to hear that and everything. Zach, I'm going to turn it back over to you and let you continue this great interview. You've been doing a great job and definitely have been enjoying the conversation.
You, sir.
Thank you, Mark.
I got one question for you, though. Mark, Burger King or McDonald's? I have to make sure I take care of Mark. I got to feed him. Mark and I, people don't know, we actually live in the same apartment complex, right? And we met by chance at another event, but then I ended up moving where Mark lives at in the same complex. So he's my brother. I only hang out with a few people down here. My New York mentality is always the same. You brothers have been amazing. I'd like to, hit me up with your number, Harvey, Milo, I have your cell. So you guys hit me up privately, with anything you want me to endorse, hat, t-shirt. If you send it to me, I'll wear it, and I'll endorse you on the show, even when you're not on the show. And just for y'all know, I wear XXX long. So anybody out there, I'm always sponsoring. I know you give away something to me and I'm not paying for it, but then again, I'm going to sponsor it for you, like I'm wearing this shirt right here, Benevolent Funk, Boogie Monster. So y'all hook me up, man, and I'll make sure that, I support, because Dr. Brookenstein, I love you too, bro.
Yes.
I just want to say, you guys are such a groovy, spiritual, funky, social activism, caring about people, love vibe that I love on this show. You epitomize what this show is about, and I'm telling you that from my heart. I get goosebumps, I cry, tear up, only because it's tears of love and joy and happiness. And it's almost like I miss you guys. You're my brothers, and I can't give you a hug now, but I'm gonna see you soon on that. So we get ready to get out of here. I'm gonna give you guys one last thought to anybody that's watching. Words of encouragement. I always do words of encouragement at the end of my show. So I'm going to let Milo, you can go first, or Harvey, you can go first. Doesn't matter. Just words of encouragement to our audience, and then we get ready to get up out the front seat.
Yeah, Milo, you first.
We're all in this together. We're almost at the finish line. The vaccine is out. Get it. It ain't gonna kill you. It's gonna save you and save others around you. And we're all in this together. You're not alone. Even if you're alone in your room, we're with you right now. And there's people out there that will talk to you. So we're all alone and we're all together.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna say, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And that means, for me, what that means is that we have to ask for wisdom, knowledge, insight, understanding, and balance that with love. Because with all of those things, we will learn how to self-govern and interact with each other in the most healthy, productive, empowering way possible. And so that's how I'm gonna leave it.
Harvey.
Well said, man. Well said. Thank you guys for tuning in. Funk from the front seat. 9 on the Grind TV. Yo, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I said thank you, Zach. Thanks for having us, man. It's been a great experience.
Thank you, and stay on, because I always keep my guests on when we're doing our roll call to get out, and y'all can boogie party, whatever. But for everybody watching out there, these brothers right here, they're doing it. They're doing it the right way. They're doing it with their heart, soul, and joy. And they're actually changing the world. And that's what this show is about. Funk from the Front Seat every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those on the West Coast, I know you guys got to get up a little early, but believe me, if you're watching from the West Coast or Midwest, I totally appreciate you. Mad shout out to HJ Entertainment, my booking agent, Heidi Wilkinson. She's doing great things. They're going to be doing great things with Nappyhead. Everybody watching the show. These two brothers right here are my brothers. They're my family. They're my funk family. They're my spiritual family. Love them as you would love yourself, because they're doing positive things for the world. Harvey, can't thank you enough. And Milo, with your music, and I'm looking at your mantra, the University of the Streets of the Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? And that to me says it all. So on that note, let's get up out the front seat and let's see what's going on around the world. Musically, I need everybody out there to get up on this. And if you're sitting at home and you just want to move around, it's okay.
What you say? Come on. What they say, put it up. Something's got me so excited, baby. I'm feeling I've been holding back so long. We gotta shoot down. You know this boy, I can't wait to get started with you. I can't and for this loving, I've been waiting for you.
New York City, I love you. This is for you. Woo! Jersey's in the house. New Jersey, the word you heard, New Jersey. Delaware.
Give it to you.
Maryland. DC, home of the go-go.
I got a shout out to Greece. Big up to Greece.
Georgia, where you at? I love you. North and South Carolina, I love you.
All right.
Virginia, you know I love you.
In the house.
West Virginia, I got your back. Texas, Houston, San Antonio, I love you. Dr. Anthony, New Orleans, you know I love you, baby. Oklahoma. Detroit. The Motor City. Utah, I love you. Canada, what's up? West Coast, Cali.
more
Vegas, Portland, Oregon, I love you. Hawaii, I love you. Mexico, ¿cómo estás? All night long, y'all. We gonna be fucking shit up. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I love you. Love you in the video. That's tight. Yeah. Come on.
Who that little cutie is right there? Who that little cutie? What's up, girl?
I love your daughter, man. She's so cute. Kaden Jams, Kevin, I love you. Nancy, Nappy Head Funk Army. Woo! It's a hot show today, y'all. Australia, where you at? Wendy, Carlin, you know I love you. Steady Groove, Caddy Soul Sister. Drop it. I feel y'all out there. Come on. India. Woo! Fuck from the front seat. Nothing but love for you. Yeah. Woo! Mark, thank you, Mark. Producer, director, Malfeet. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been another great episode, Funk from the Front Seat. Man, shouts out to everybody watching. Don't forget, stay active on the chat line. Follow these two brothers, Milo Z, Funk, Harvey doing his thing, Tough Stuff Productions out there in Jersey, and all the people out there watching. You guys make the show, so please keep the comments and the love coming. We appreciate you. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Remember, there's always plenty of room on the Funk Seat. Peace, love, and harmony, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Take care of yourself. Love you, man. Love y'all.
Love you.
Hit me up with your numbers. Harvey, hit me up with your number, bro.
You got it.
All right, man. Y'all take care, man, and stay safe out there. Yes, sir. Stay safe out there, man. And we're gonna do a part 2 for everybody watching. That's gonna be coming up real soon. So stay tuned for that.
Come on.